Get out. You think paying rent makes you family? My mom lost it on Thanksgiving. It was supposed to be a normal Thanksgiving dinner. The table looked perfect, golden turkey, candles, the smell of cinnamon and baked apples filling the room. But behind all that, the tension was thick. For months, I'd been paying most of the household bills, rent, groceries, electricity. My parents had fallen behind after Dad lost some work hours, and my younger sister was still in college, pretending she couldn't find a part-time job. I never complained. I just helped. That's what family's for, right? In total, I'd spent about $12,600 this year alone. I didn't expect praise, but I also didn't expect what happened next. As we sat down to eat, Mom poured herself a glass of wine and sighed loudly. You know, she said, some people think that just because they pay a few bills, they run the house. The room went silent. I knew exactly who she meant. Mom, I said quietly, I never said I run the house. I just helped. She slammed her fork down. Helped? You think paying a few rent checks makes you family? Get out. I froze. My sister looked at me with that smug little smirk she always had, the same one that said, Mom's on my side. Dad finally looked up and said the words that finished it all for me. You're just jealous of your sister. She's actually doing something with her life. I laughed. I couldn't help it. After all the months of covering for them, driving my sister to school, paying for her books, and watching her treat me like a servant, that's what they thought? Okay, I said, standing up. You're right. Maybe I am jealous. Maybe I should let her handle the bills from now on. I smiled, grabbed my plate, and calmly walked to the sink. I didn't argue. I didn't yell. I just left. That night, while everyone was still sitting downstairs watching TV, I logged into my accounts and shut everything down. The electricity, the Wi-Fi, the heating, all in my name. I also canceled the automatic grocery delivery and removed my card from the rent payment system. By morning, the house was dark. Cold. The coffee machine wouldn't turn on. My sister screamed when she realized her laptop wouldn't connect to Wi-Fi. Mom was pacing around, yelling that something's wrong with the power. I sat quietly in my room, sipping my own cup of coffee, because I'd already moved into my new apartment the night before. I was just there to pick up a few last things. When Mom finally noticed me packing my last box, she shouted, "So this is your revenge. You think you can just leave?" I turned to her and said, "You told me paying bills doesn't make me family. So, I'm just taking your advice." Her face fell. She didn't know what to say. As I walked out the front door, Dad followed me to the driveway. For the first time in years, he looked guilty. "Maybe we overreacted," he said quietly. "You know your mom didn't mean it." "Yeah," I replied, "but words have weight. You can't throw them at people who've kept your house running and expect nothing to change." I started my car and looked back one last time. The windows were dark and the porch light was off. For once, they were the ones left in silence. A week later,